Hey everyone, welcome to today's lesson. We're going to be looking at adding tab stops and tab leaders to our document. This is something that I found in past semesters students have had particular difficulty with. So I wanted to give you guys a little sample of what it looks like. You can watch me run through it and add it. I'll give you some explanation while I do it. And then after you watch the video, you can go and do the activities in the book and always come back to the video if you need a refresher or there's a specific step that's giving you trouble. Okay, so let's get started by first selecting the lines that we want to add tab stops to. In this case, it's going to be these 5 lines. Now I want to stress that you want to make sure you pick only the lines you want and nothing else. And make sure you select all of the lines that you want. There have been issues where people select sometimes that first empty space or the one after it, or sometimes you'll forget and only choose those 4 instead of the full 5. This is going to cause issues later just because of the way that tab stops work. If you want to edit them all together, you need to select them and then put them in all together. So we're going to select all 5 lines, and then we're going to go up to the top left here. Pay attention, this is your tab indicator. This is going to tell you what type of tab you're putting in. So right now it's set to right tab, but I want a left tab. So if I click on it, eventually I will get a left tab, and that's what the left tab looks like. And if you're not sure, you can just hover over it like that and it'll tell you what type of tab it is. So we're going to put a left tab at the 1-inch mark, and we simply just click up here on the ruler at the top of the page. You want to kind of click on the bottom part of it like that. And then we're going to do it again at 3.5 inches. Now we're going to go back to our tab indicator. We're going to click twice and we should get a right tab. I'll show you the difference between these once we've spaced these out, and you'll be able to see it once I point it out. Okay, so now that we have our tab stops in, we can click in front of the paragraph, and we're going to press the tab key on the keyboard, and it's going to jump forward. And then we'll do it again in front of dates, and you can see it jumps to the 3.5, and then finally again in front of cost. So now you might have noticed this, but the tabs, the left tabs and the right tabs work differently by where they tab to. So on this left tab, it tabs to the left side of the word. And on the right tab, it'll tab to the right side of the word. So the right tab's often useful for whatever the last tab is going to be on your page because it stops text from running over into the next paragraph and breaking your layout. Now we're going to add tabs again in front of each line, and then again in front of the word October in each line, and then again in front of each $sign. And now we've added our tab stops. This is also a good place to be sure that you're satisfied with how it looks. Once we start editing and adding tab leaders, it's going to become more difficult to edit. It'll delete the tab leaders and you'll have to do it all over again. So let's say that we don't like that last one and we want to move the 5-inch tab to 5.5. We select all of our lines, again making sure we select everything we want and nothing else. In fact, I can show you if you accidentally select, say, that top line, you can see what happens. These tabs disappear or they'll become grayed out and you can't edit them. So we want to make sure that we select exactly what we want. And then we just click on the tab and we drag it to 5.5. And if you have an issue where you click by accident and say that I put a tab stop where I didn't want it here, I can always click on that and drag it off of the ruler. When I let go, it'll delete it. So that is how you edit and delete your tab stops. Simple way to do it. There are others, but that's the easiest. Okay, so now that we have our tab stops in, we want to add our tab leaders. For this, we're just going to select those bottom 4 lines. And we're going to put leaders, which is those little dots that connect the words, here between the project and the dates, and then again between the dates and the cost. Once we've selected our lines, we're going to click up here on this paragraph launcher, which opens our paragraph launcher window. And what we're looking for is this tabs button in the bottom left corner, and that will open our tabs dialog box. And you can see up here the different tab stop positions we've already added in. So again, we're not going to put any leaders on the 1-inch stop because that would appear here to the left of the project, which wouldn't look right. So the first one we're going to click on is the 3.5 tab stop. And once you've selected it, you're going to select which style leader you want. And you can see there's number 2 is just the traditional dots at the bottom. Number 3 is dashes a little bit higher. And number 4 is dashes at the bottom, creating a sort of line. We're going to use 2. So we click in the bubble for 2, and then we click set. And now we've told it that we want tab leaders in the 3.5. We're going to do it again for the 5.5. So we'll select the 5.5 tab stop. We'll fill the bubble next to the 2. We'll do set again. And then we can click OK, and our tab leaders appear. So if you need to edit it or delete stuff, you can always select it again and open that paragraph launcher and then the tabs button. And we can always change or delete tabs. If you hit clear, you'll clear the tab stop completely. So if you just want to get rid of the leader, you just click on none and do set and do OK, and it would disappear. So that's it for the tab stops and tab leaders. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.